Chapter 1. The Two Resumes. The fog rolled off the bay like thick gray smoke, swallowing the tip of the Transamerica Pyramid and settling heavy over the Fillmore. It was 1994, and San Francisco was a city of two worlds. The tech gold rush climbing the hills and the concrete reality of the streets below. Dollabone stood behind the stainless steel counter of the Hoods of America cart, his hands moving with a precision that used to be reserved for different kinds of scales. In his left pocket was his corporate identity, a folded, laminated street vending permit he'd fought the City Hall bureaucrats for 3 months to obtain. In his right pocket was his street resume, 10 years of reputation, a mental map of every alley in the Western Addition, and the instinct to know a threat before it turned the corner. "Yo, Bone, the mustard's running low, and the buns feel a day old," a voice piped up. Bone didn't look up from the grill. He was watching a black sedan idle too long near the corner of Geary and Fillmore. "The buns are fresh, little Vic. I negotiated the delivery myself, and if you call them day old in front of a customer, you're off the line. This isn't the corner store, this is a brand. Keep your eyes on the internal temp. If that poultry hits 165 degrees Fahrenheit, it's gold. Anything less, and we're out of business before the lunch rush." Vic, a 19-year-old Bone had plucked off a stoop to give him a legal hustle, nodded quickly. He handled the tongs like they were a foreign object. To Bone, managing Vic was like managing a lookout. You had to keep him sharp, keep him fed, and make sure he knew exactly who was in charge. A man in a sharp wool suit, likely headed toward a high-rise downtown, stepped up to the cart. He looked at the bold Hoods of America banner draped across the front. "What's the specialty?" the man asked, reaching for his wallet. Bone shifted gears. He wiped his hands on his apron, forced a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes, the kind of smile you give a judge or a buyer, and stepped into character. "You want the Western Addition special, sir? All beef link, grilled onions, and a secret sauce that'll make you forget you're in a hurry," Bone said, his voice dropping the street cadence for something smoother, more professional. As he prepped the dog, a beat-up Cadillac screeched to the curb. The door creaked open, and a man named Tone stepped out. Tone was a ghost from the first resume, a man who still measured success by the ounce and didn't understand why Bone was sweating over hot dog buns. Tone ignored the line and leaned against the cart, his shadow falling over the grill. "Bone, word is you're paying rent to the city now. Since when do you pay for turf you already own?" The man in the suit froze, sensing the sudden shift in atmospheric pressure. Bone didn't blink. He handed the hot dog to the businessman with a steady hand. "Enjoy your lunch, sir. Have a productive day." Once the customer was out of earshot, Bone turned to Tone. The corporate identity stayed in his pocket. The street resume took the lead. "I'm not paying for turf, Tone. I'm buying a legacy," Bone said, his voice low, vibrating with the danger that made little Vic step back. "That permit in my pocket means the sirens don't stop for me anymore. It means when I make $1, I keep the whole dollar."